how do you fix a problem when you're not allowed to say what the problem is? No one is allowed to point fingers or even acknowledge that there is an elephant that's been sitting in the room now. For over 2,000 years, without a vote, without a voice, we accepted a bunch of soulless data mining megacorporations rewriting human behavior by hijacking the evolutionary programming we politely call instincts. And no one stopped them. No one even tried. Because no one reads the pages of fine print agreements before we click accept. And now good people have to take to the streets again and stare down armored personnel carriers and tear gas canisters. Again. Ask yourself, who's gonna fix your roof when the immigrants are gone? Who's gonna harvest your food for pennies when the farmland's sold to billionaires who suck in all the taxpayer farm subsidies? Who's gonna defend your pretend rights when most don't even know what their actual rights are and won't listen to the very few people who still do? Certainly not the tubby, ineffectual virgin, Colton, the cell phone-attached cyborg Twitch streamer, or drama queen therapy masterclass Jade, the bland bisexual rage scroller, who's never changed a tire or cooked a meal, but has 220,000 followers for their toenail painting tutorials. Even though the corporations tried, and they definitely have their finger in every aspect of our existence, we did not design these people that way. They chose, in their own lives, to become this next-gen consumer drone. It's easier, it's lazier, and it's definitely more comfortable. So who says that it's not correct or appropriate to blame them for not being pioneers and physical, real-world problem solvers like the real, honest people we deliberately erased and are now claiming that we don't want or need in? No one has erased all of our shared past, not yet, and all the options are still available if you want to pursue them. The truth is, they chose to put themselves in the digital zoo. And now we few, the wizened elders. The parents and critics aren't supposed to mock them, the scared, neutered, socially awkward and incapable, the stunted V-chipped cyber safe room crybabies. We never could have coddled them as much as they coddle themselves and each other. They are surely not out flirting because they can't. They are selling themselves on cam shows, and thus we are not hunting, not competing, not interacting, not even fully human anymore. For crumbs, they're being preyed upon in their own blindness and stupidity by corporate greed, and all they're spitting back is recycled rage and misdirected blame because they can't face the reality of what they've done to themselves. Generations that can't patch drywall or grow a tomato but can recite 5 genders and 3 trauma buzzwords before breakfast. A pretend society, where we pretend to be inclusive, pretend to care, pretend there is still something we can fix. When Reagan-era tax cuts sold us and all the good jobs down the river and overseas to make the rich even richer. Because nobody's allowed to ask the tough questions or point the finger at the real culprits. Who speaks for the poor? Or ever says, hey, maybe capitalism is eating us, and our kids now more so than ever? Or, hey, maybe this entire social slavery is a hollowed-out husk built on ethnocentric religious hate and greed. And no one's had the balls to call it out for what it is since before World War II. And worse, even when someone does say it, everyone just shrugs. We live in a world where politicians can't say anything even vaguely resembling the truth and act as though that is the job. Instead of serving the people, they couldn't even openly claim being an atheists, and sure as hell can't say anything uncomfortable about race, gender, religion, protected entrenched Zionism, capitalism, or wage inequality or class. Not unless they want their careers nuked from orbit by the outrage industrial complex made to please the Karens. The problem with giving land that belonged to the Muslims and Palestinians, to the Jewish people after World War II. Now the British won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, the double-dealing blood-soaked monarch bastards. Research it, from the Balfour Declaration with the Jewish people to the McMahon letters with the warmongering, hate-filled Arabs. They were playing both sides while cashing in on that sweet Zionist money. Their divide and conquer chaos is everywhere. The British went from Palestine to India, Ireland, Africa. It's their manufactured legacy. And now who has to clean up their mess? The American middle-class taxpayer. Our moms and dads grew up as clueless, insulated teeny boppers, spoon-fed a manufactured civil rights movement set up to sell black culture to everyone, and not just in jukeboxes. Well, not everyone accepted that, and in many Trump voting states it never really caught on. Now we see these MAGA cult members. 60 to 80-year-old angry, bedazzled Karens in a hate-filled racist cult. MAGA white grandmas who themselves, along with their families, never wanted civil rights or equality and still don't. And the many of the rest who did try and support it now feel betrayed and lied to. scared and confused by angry gang members pretending to be singers with literal guns tattooed all over their faces. MAGA grandma is being screamed at to turn down for what? Shouted down and shamed for being white, when what they really wanted was bow ties and pristine white milk delivery uniforms. Chipper howdy do there, ma'am. How can I help? How can Sambo fix your lawn and garden today? Instead, they got rioting and looting and Molotov cocktails through the windows of the pharmacies that they depend on for their adult diapers and countless pill bottles. Every single real issue has been candy-coated. Real journalists are rarer than a billionaire that pays taxes. Our fake history is cobbled together on shaky foundations. But now the lies are front and center in the spotlight of every news cycle, homogenized and G-rated. From the issue with Israel and Iran going to war over that piss-poor excuse for land. A problem that was never really fixed and never will be as long as religion exists. So betrayed and confused, they resorted to blatant, open, fascist, racist dictators who have the support of more than half the bunker-building so-called United States. All of it and more from real systemic problems that got swept under the rug with a pious lie and a press conference. They cry and spread more lies like, "That's not who we are." Bullshit. It's exactly who we are. If we can't call out who they are, then how can we ever be anything other than their slaves?